Welcome to Wednesday's Cheese Unmelted. We have made it here to the Elite 8 of Cheese Madness. Tonight we're going to be taking a look at highlights from our matchups this year in our battle for cheese supremacy. In the Soft League, we have Camembert versus Fontina in what promises to be a gooey mess of a matchup. Over in the Semi-Soft League, we have number 1 seeded American Cheese losing in their surprise.
What the fuck's she on about?
Dude, this is...
Hey, man, he doesn't interrupt you.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does.
I do all the time.
Actually, yeah, he does. Yeah, that's fair.
Holy shit. This is not Wednesday Cheese Unmelted. This is Wednesday Night Undressed.
I'm glad you remembered that. Yeah.
I was actually trying to see how far I could get through before someone interrupted and said, "What the fuck are you doing, you crazy asshole?"
I was just
Jeremy wins. Good interruption. Wow.
All right, so I am glad that we got the whole panel back tonight. We have with us tonight Mr. Ivo Ivanov.
Yes.
Jeremy Taylor.
Jeremy back.
Kathleen Taylor.
Hello.
Brits are back.
Who are you?
Back in town.
Jane
We haven't seen you forever.
Just Jane.
Jane Carter. We got Jane Carter in the house. And last but not least, we have Mr. Jason Springer.
In the house.
In the house.
What's up?
Jeezy.
So I am going to host tonight because Jeremy is just getting back from his visit with Vladimir Putin. Being overseas, and
We went off to see young Harry and Megas.
So we're gonna give him a chance to relax and heckle tonight while I do the hosting. So we'll see how this goes.
I'm really practicing for the show on Friday, actually.
Oh,
we're
good
going to
deal.
do a radio show, and we're practicing for me giving our producer, who I have not been able to heckle Harris or have his hand hover over the yellow button.
Is
for
he
3
talking
weeks.
about you, Eric? Are you gonna be the object
Yeah,
of his
look at him.
ridicule?
Look,
I
poor Eric.
apologize.
Love him.
That's gonna be some shit.
Yeah, deep shit. I'm
All
talking
right.
about deep.
All right. So the first question I want to ask is, in this group, because we are all of a certain age, except Jeremy, he's a little bit younger than the rest
Uncertain
of us.
age.
Yes. Do we like to go to the movies still? Like the actual
Man,
experience?
I thought we were talking about cheese.
Well, I got interrupted.
looking forward to
I
the
actually
cheese.
had a whole thing, but
Wait,
somebody
What
interrupted.
if I like eating nacho cheese at the movies? Is that...
Ooh, that's
No.
a nice
Seriously.
idea.
So, like, I'm sitting there thinking about, like, when I was a kid, how you'd go to the movies and they had all the, stadium bench seats and, not entirely comfortable, but it was still a pretty good experience to go to the movie. It was an event. Is it still an event for us? Do we still like it?
Oh. Well, I think like the magic's kind of gone because every home is a movie theater. You
Right.
know, we have flat screen TVs that cover the entire wall, audio systems that are out of this world, incredibly comfortable environment.
And you can
man
pause
caves.
to go to the loo.
But that being said, because now the theaters are competing with your home,
Right.
they've gone insane, and it's sweet. I mean, you go to a movie theater nowadays, it's ridiculous. They have we have the Alamo Draft House.
Right.
Have you gone to the Alamo Draft House? Holy Mother of God! There's a beer. A beer facility on the front of it. You drink beer. It's a bar. It's a movie theater. It's a
Just like
restaurant.
It would be at your home.
Well,
Except you can't push pause.
Yeah, but
You have to pee.
No,
Exactly.
no. You freaking it. They're just the seats are reclining. They have the waiters come to you throughout the entire movie. You can order food throughout the entire movie. They come to you. It's insane, and this is getting insane. What's the next step? Is the seats will start giving you massage, right? They'll have the massage seats.
I was going there,
because
yes.
it's inevitable.
gonna be the seats, though.
I would go there,
there'll be people. There'll be
Shit,
definitely
beer and a massage, you'd be out in like
there'll
5
be
minutes.
Yeah, but it's like
personal
paying $12
masseuse.
for a nap.
Yeah, there'll be masseuse people giving you massage. Actual people giving you massage during. They'll do pedicure. They'll have like people doing your nails during a movie. Next, what's next? Next is sexual favors. I went and watched Star Wars, got a blowjob, got a massage,
Right.
got a gallon of beer.
Wait.
Hang on, that was
Couldn't I
1978,
technically do all
Evo.
of that at home still?
Well,
Yeah, I think I kind
Okay,
of
hold
could.
on. Different question. Have you been to the theater in the last 3 months?
Yes.
Yes, I went to the theater
Everybody
one
here's
time.
been to the theater?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why do we still go to the theater?
I think it's a nostalgia, honestly.
It is nostalgic.
I would agree with that.
Because you were right, we're of a certain generation, and it was magical when
Yeah.
we were kids, and so I think a lot of it has to do with. I mean, my going is few and far between. I pick the right movies, just
that's
the
what I was
right
gonna-
movies
absolutely.
to go to. But I love
We
going
went
to the
to
movies.
see Murder on the Orient Express. You're quite right. And as you know, the what happens is the train gets caught in the snowdrift, which is somewhat evocative of what the actual fucking cinema was like. I didn't realise when I went in and sat down why people were taking sleeping bags and duvets and things with them.
Right.
I have never been so fucking cold in my whole freaking fucking life. It
And we
bastards.
paid for the privilege.
And we paid for it too.
But see, this
That's
is
not going
this
to
is-
happen again.
Like
But
going,
that's part of the experience. It's always been like that. Always.
no, it's never
it
been that
hasn't.
cold.
Never been that cold.
I don't know.
This
I don't know.
was-
I've always taken extra coats. and
Yeah.
stuff.
no. See, I
I
think
was
this
huddled
feeds
in a winter coat.
directly
Freezing.
into what Ivo was saying, though. Like, this is one of the things that movie theaters do now to try to encourage people to come. Like, the air conditioning is, I think, forever has always been one of the features that they've advertised.
It was
But-
cold outside.
But now they're throwing so much shit at you, like the drinks, the food.
The
You remember-
fucking commercials before the damn movie. It's not even
You have to sit
trailers.
through
That's
I
true.
mean, you
Yeah.
have to watch commercials. Coke.
Well, I,
Coca-Cola.
In fact,
I
that probably-
I
Yeah,
don't mind the
that's bad.
commercials because having
You've done one
actually,
for us.
being-
We've made a commercial with Jeremy
actually,
Taylor.
being actually on a cinema conversion.
Either way, when you go to a movie and
which-
it's supposed to start at 1 o'clock, it starts about 1:45 because of all the goddamn commercials.
I always go late.
It's
So
all
the,
going
the
late. You
film
have to,
itself
yeah.
was great. Okay, no question about that. Watching the film, I haven't been to see a film before since I went with my kids, my boys, and my lovely wife many years ago, many years ago, and we were watching some film. I don't know what it could have been, Harry Potter or something. And there's a bunch of little bastards on the
was
other
Harry
side
Potter.
there, right? And they are making such a row, a racket. And
With their dad.
eventually somebody said, what's the matter? You tell the story.
Oh, one of the boys said, "Well, what is it they're crackling over there?" Because of rustle, crackle,
Right.
crackle. And instead of answering quietly, Jeremy shouts, "Crisps!
As loud as I could.
Potato
Right.
chips!"
Well
right?
done, you.
And
So-
these kids
so it's
sort of
now-
looked at me and carried on rattling.
Yeah.
Little bastards, I'm going to shoot them.
This is now a byword in the house.
Crisps.
Okay.
Crisps.
Yeah. You just shout out crisps. Everybody cracks up.
By the way, one of the worst jobs in the future, movie theater BJ attendant.
Well, maybe for you. I'm thinking I can
Well,
make
well,
it.
I mean,
extra spare dollars.
That's already a
BJ
job.
technician is movie
Yeah.
theater.
But that's already a job.
Clean
Go
up.
to the right theater.
Clean
There's-
up
there's
on
the-
37A.
Yeah.
Evo, there's the jizz mopper already in certain theaters.
Yeah. They'll have a machine, like they do with ice hockey.
Jeez,
Oh, one of those little robo vacuums, but like a robo.
little jizzboni.
Yeah, a little jizzboni. Oh, I like it.
Jizzboni.
Yes.
That's right. I hadn't got there, but I was going.
Okay, right. Dude. No, we're going to trademark that. We're going to make that right now.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Awesome,
'Cause-
awesome.
Yes.
All right.
Screw our
Look
jobs.
at Evo. He's wondering about this and how
Yeah,
he
yeah.
can get it.
Thinking about the business
financed.
aspect of
Yeah.
the whole thing.
Yeah, no.
You want to invest in the jizzboni.
We have to patent Jizzboni.
Yeah, they're actually made in Bulgaria, actually.
Of
course.
Yeah. Because Brexit and everything, we can't do them. But yeah. So, I mean, the thing is, you go and see a film, and it's all the atmosphere, and it's like the theatre, and it's really cool. And we all have family stories. I was lucky enough to get early tickets to the first Harry Potter, advance tickets. And, yeah, and it was so cool because we had this little house and we needed to put carpets in it, right?
Right.
I have to share this story because it's one of my favourite family stories. So we made the boys. We
Three
said to
sons.
the boys, we're going to Plymouth, which is like about an hour and a half's drive away, to buy carpets. And they're going, oh shit. Do we have to? Oh, Dad, oh, God, whatever. So I knew that the carpet superstore was next to the big cinema, And sure enough, there was Harry Potter being publicised. And of course, you remember Harry Potter, big deal.
Big shit.
I mean, it was as big as Star Wars, the pre-bit to it,
Right.
I said, cool, that'll be good. Shall we go and watch it? Says Kath.
Uh-huh.
And they go, yeah, no, you can't,
You have to get tickets.
You've got tickets
ahead and so
Kath
on.
says, no, that's all right.
How
We
to show
don't,
off
and
for your
we
kids.
don't need, And James or William, or one of the boys said, yeah, like you've got tickets. And she put her hand down in her bag and produced me like these ones. And my eldest son, who now has a beard and
Cooler than anybody.
Yeah,
Right.
cooler than the Fonz. Literally danced around the car. Right. And we've
That's
all got
awesome.
these favourite stories of going to the cinema,
Right.
with our first girlfriend or our, and how do you, as if you're the guy, right? She's sitting there thinking, oh God, I hope he doesn't put his arm around me or put his tongue in my ear. Oh God, I just want to watch the film. Why am I here?
See, that's not the idea of what I have going through their heads. It's the exact opposite. Like, gee, I hope that
With what?
Cinema.
With the theater?
Yeah, when you went to the theatre, we take your girlfriend to see the theatre.
Oh, it's same thing.
you didn't cut a hole in the bottom of the popcorn.
No, I mean I've taken a lot of booze into the theater back when there was no booze into the theater. I watched, by the way, The Fifth Element when there was a movie theater downtown. We went with Jamie and a bunch of friends to watch The Fifth Element.
Right.
Remember the Urban Outfitters was a movie theater, and
Yeah, Varsity.
we went. It was like early '90s, and I brought like gin and tonic, like bottles of it in a bag, and I opened the tonic during the movie, and it sprayed everywhere.
righteous.
It exploded. I just started laughing. Nobody. You needed just bony. Yeah.
Okay, so like the reason this question came up for me is because, as you guys have probably heard, Disney has just bought 20th Century Fox, or they bought 21st Century Fox and get all the 20th Century Fox stuff. So that means, I assume, we're going to see a conglomeration of movies. We're going to see a lessening in the variety of movies.
Oh yeah.
I mean, is
Definitely.
that pretty
Less
much
competition.
forgiven? I mean, foreseeable that
yeah.
we're going to see less big box office.
I'm not real sure actually, because if you think about like some of the Marvel movies, like take for example like Deadpool. Clearly, there's a lot of swearing in there. There's a lot of things at Disney. There's no way they would ever allow those things in a movie, but because it's 20th Century Fox, and because the amount of money that Deadpool made and other movies that are R-rated are willing to generate, Disney is still a corporation. They still care about the almighty dollar more than anything else. So if they're smart, maybe they'll kind of tweak a few things, but they're still going to let 20th Century Fox kind of be its R movie.
They can always just tag it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Put a tag on it and say Disney Kids, Disney Adult, Disney whatever. It is.
Yeah.
I don't know. So they're not going to try to animate
I would imagine
everything.
that they're not going to sit there
exactly.
and they're not going to sit there and take away things that are already making tons of money, because they are
Business.
they're a business.
Industry. It's a $50 billion.
That's the reason why they bought ESPN
merger.
and
But it's all designed. It's ultimately bad for the consumer when you create a conglomerate of that size. You eliminate one of the biggest competitors. It's like a crazy wet dream for the shareholders, because they're going to make a lot of money. I think the Disney shareholders are going to take in 25% of the 21st Century Fox.
Right.
What worries me is that it's a Rupert Murdoch company, man. This guy is like not Darth Vader, but what was the other guy with the hoodie?
the Emperor.
Emperor.
The Emperor. That is the
Yeah.
personification of evil. That's Rupert Murdoch. And he looks like it. He is unabashedly evil. He's just. Imagine Fox News. You know what? Fox News. You know what Disney's gonna do? They're probably gonna merge with Fox News. That's Rupert Murdoch's plan. He's gonna infiltrate.
Well, they already said they weren't going to.
Oh, they said so, but it's Rupert Murdoch, so he's gonna end up doing like they're gonna grab all the Disney movies. They're gonna Foxifize them, like they're gonna like do probably Snow White Supremacists and the Seven Dwarfs.
Oh shit!
Or like
That's perfect.
101 Aryan Nations.
They'll try to cut funds and only have 6 years.
Yeah, 6 doors. Yeah, they're gonna do all kind like Lady and the Trump. They're gonna, because
very good.
because it's-
Ivo, very good.
Yeah. Well, it's
Lady and
because it's a 24/7. Fuck 24/7. It's 24/365 propaganda machine for Donald
It
Trump.
really
It's gonna
is.
be everything's gonna be about Donald Trump. Disney's gonna make every famous Disney movie into a Donald Trump movie.
Hey,
it's
he's going to be gone before that.
The Chronicles of Melania.
You really think so?
Yeah, I really think. Besides, is Disney actually all that much better?
It's always so
Do they
happy
really
when I
run
come
their
and
company
we
that
have a
well?
podcast. It always gives me such hope about the future. You do such a good job of that.
They'll remake Honey, I Shrunk they'll make Honey, I Shrunk the Taxes, and the sequel will be Honey, I Blew Up the Deficit.
Damn.
It makes perfect sense.
But I have to just ask a question because it's quite fun just sitting here watching you trying to corral the cat.
Oh, fuck that. Yeah.
Is Ivanka, it's now come out today that Ivanka Trump and Jared Kushner have had a deal. And apparently people who know them, that it has been agreed that she will be the one who runs for president.
Right.
But what film should she be in? I mean, what, like Frozen? What would she be? Because they need to put
Beauty
her in
and
a
the
film.
Beast, except she's the other.
Oh, snap. No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
Maleficent?
Because
She's
I feel
apparently,
vindicated.
according to Bannon, dumb as a stump.
Yeah. But I want to know, they're going to make a film with her in it. They've got to make a film with her in it.
With Melania?
No, Ivanka.
No, with Ivanka.
Ivanka.
I'm trying to think of the
what
name
would it
of the
be?
Nazi woman from Indiana Jones.
Elsa.
Elsa.
Yeah.
That would
Nice
be
job,
it.
Jane.
They can do a movie about Michael Flynn together with Milo Yiannopoulos. What was the
Milo Yiannopoulos.
Yiannopoulos.
Yeah.
Milo Yiannopoulos, and they call it Milo and Snitch.
Wow. So
You know-
just curious. I am legitimately curious.
Treason
Did you
Island.
No.
Treason
No,
Island.
No. I want to know. Do you make this stuff up on the spot, or do you sit and think about
No,
this?
he can't flow like that. He's been thinking about it.
He's been waiting for these.
I thought about it a little bit on the way here. I have a 1 hour drive.
Gotcha.
But Treason Island would be good. How about The Adventures of Tom Sawyer and Huckabee? You know what? I'm thinking.
He's off, ladies, now. Don't stop him. Let him go.
That's beautiful.
Of all of those, what about? I think the only reason they are merging is so Disney, 20th Century Fox News can remake Wall-E and make Mexico pay for it.
Boo. Okay, we have lost the magic of
Dude,
No,
Here we go.
it's
Rein
your
him
show,
in.
dude.
Rein
Come
him
on now.
in.
No, one more.
They can make, like, if the impeachment happens, they can make a movie about the impeachment and call it Operation Dumbo Drop.
Wow. Yeah, that was. I'm sorry, the one before that was a step too far. So
If they make, of course, they're not going to make Aladdin because he's got no green card. Aladdin,
You're
Mulan.
gonna start hurting some cats. You're gonna start hurting some cats.
Melania.
Mulan cannot make. Mulan doesn't have a green card. Coco doesn't have a green card. Who else doesn't have? They have a lot of foreigners.
A lot
in
of
the
foreign
Disney,
movies, yeah.
in the Disney universe. So yeah, it's.
Gonna be tough.
Sorry, we should have stopped
know
with
about
Snow
Pocahontas.
White supremacists and the Seven Dwarfs. Anyway, all
I
right.
don't like kind of,
No, 6. We're cutting back.
Oh,
on
what
the
about
point.
I'll Be Homophobe for Christmas? Have you seen? That's a Fox News movie.
Brilliant. All right, we're going to move on. We're going to talk about music for a little bit. Okay, we are, again, all of a certain age. Does anybody here, I know Ivo does, because he's kind of a music lover, so he constantly finds new music. Do you guys find yourselves finding or seeking out new music?
Yes.
So how do you do it?
I don't know. I start surfing. It starts with YouTube. I
start
start
on
watching YouTube videos, and I go, "Oh, what's
And
that?"
are you watching music
Oh, what's
videos in
that?
particular? Gotcha.
Oh, yeah.
And
It's
are you
just-
watching, when you start, are you watching stuff from your childhood or from your teenage
It
years?
usually starts off that way. The other day, I was thinking of Susie Q and Two of Hearts.
Right,
So
right.
I clicked on that, and then they have the side window, the sidebar, so it
Right.
has all these other suggestions for you, and then you go, "Oh, what's that?"
Right.
And all of a sudden, you're in some kind of, I don't know, crazy Depeche Mode-esque, just all over the place.
Yeah, right.
And I'm like, ooh, who is this?
What is this?
Then
What
you
is
Wikipedia who that is. And yeah, that's how I do it.
So
I do
you,
the same thing with Pandora.
Yeah.
Because I use YouTube and Pandora.
you can
for that
actually
example.
find new music in Pandora?
Yeah.
I cannot. Like,
If you create a station for a specific artist,
Uh-huh.
if I have like my PJ Harvey
Right.
station,
Uh-huh.
all of a sudden, I'll hear some PJ Harvey, then I'll hear a song. I'm like, who is this? I've never heard this before.
Right.
Then I'll have to go check it out. I'm like, I like this, and I just jot it down. Then I go find them on Amazon or something, and that's how I find new music.
interesting. I'm actually having this problem major league right now. If I'm not aware
Bigly.
of the art. I'm having this problem bigly. If I'm not hanging out with the college kids, in law school or something like that, I'm not coming across new music. It seems like Pandora, Spotify, Google Play, they're all like sending me to the same like 15 or 20 artists, and I don't know how to break myself of that rut.
Do you shuffle on Pandora?
Oh yeah, well, I mean, you can't help but shuffle on Pandora.
Okay, then I would suggest don't do that, because if you just shuffle, then you're going to hear stuff like you're going to hit the hits of your station.
Oh, I get what you're saying.
If you pick your station of that one artist,
right,
then you're going to start hearing songs from different artists that kind of they lump into that station.
Gotcha.
That's how you get introduced to new stuff.
Gotcha. How about you two on the end there?
I don't seek out new music because I don't seek out music. I seek out new puzzles.
Gotcha.
Not a music lover.
I found recently that the heavy rock that I love, but having come from the UK, there are bands that I wasn't into when I was in the UK because they weren't a big deal.
Right.
So it could be someone like Heart or Styx. I mean, they'd have a big hit, but you wouldn't hear all the rest of the music.
Gotcha.
But the other thing I found of late is that...
Please tell me you listen to ska now. That would make me so happy.
Who?
Ska is a musical genre. Never mind.
All right.
I'd actually be kind of creeped out at that point. Is that real?
One of the things that...
Just the image of him at a ska concert just freaks the hell out of me. Yeah.
Classic music. In the UK, they have Classic FM, which is started years ago now, but it was the first, like we have our radio station, Laser or Kiss or something like that, playing top hits. This is a classic top hits radio station, and I used to like listening to that. But the weirdest thing for me, I have to say, is adverts. Is music that goes with adverts. Because a huge amount of thought goes into the theme for a particular advert.
Sometimes, yeah.
And I found one that I really loved, which I have it in my wallet. I didn't know you were going to ask this question. Which is to do with, I think, a beer. Anyway, it's Dance Macabre. And Camille Saint-Saëns. And I discovered that a few years ago, and Eric and I were lucky enough to interview a young lady who played it, actually played, the dance of the sort of the skeletons and everything for us. And she's, what was she, Eric? She's the only person to have been selected twice in the world under 18 piano players or under 21 piano players. So that was 2 years ago. And then just whiskey, that's right, Jameson's whiskey. And then the latest one, which is for a car advert, which is only like last month, is the Jazz Suite, Dmitri Shostakovich, Jazz Suite number 2. And you don't know what I'm talking about, but if you hear it,
you know it.
You know it immediately.
Right.
And it's an advert for a Mercedes or a something or other.
That's their goal right there.
And the little girl, there's a girl sitting in the back of it
Just
with a snow globe, right? And she looks out the window and she's imagining, right, the outside of the car turning into a Christmas thing. And I'm thinking, I have to get that on a CD so I can play it in my...
Gotcha. And so you have a list there. Do you literally keep a list of songs that you're interested in with you at all times?
Yeah.
That is cool. That is a very good idea.
And then
I have a list on my phone.
And then
you gotta write it down as soon as you get them. I just keep a list at home. Yeah.
So, like going back to Pandora for just a second. So, one of the things that I do on Pandora all the time is I go find two what I think are completely disparate artists and make a station out of the two of them. So, like, you mentioned PJ Harvey just a minute ago. Like adding, let's say, off the top of my head, Outkast.
Okay.
To a PJ Harvey station.
Okay.
And just to see what Pandora comes up with. And there's something that has changed because when Pandora first came out, I would legitimately find like just gems of music by doing that. Like stuff that I just can't come across anymore. And I think that somehow their algorithm has changed.
That's why I say just pick one artist and make that one artist is your station. And because when you start getting, even if you have just two, there's enough out there they can just start shuffling back and forth, and forth.
Right.
But just one artist, they finally got to kind of slowly begin to introduce some new stuff for you. And then if you hear a song you like, then obviously you click on thumbs up on that, and then it'll start looking for songs like that. Maybe not from that particular artist, but from a similar artist with that same kind of jingle, and then you get introduced to someone new.
Gotcha. All right, that covers music, so now we're switching over to TV. So this is a big question for me.
Fox News and the Hound. What about Pirates of the Caribbean?
Oh my God!
Pirates of the Caribbean offshore accounts.
That one is starting to redeem this idea.
Yes.
Yeah. TV shows. Give me a good comedy. Does anybody here have a good sitcom?
Master of None.
Is that good?
That's a good
It's
one.
hilarious.
Aziz Ansari.
I love it.
And is that's not on major TV though? That's a Netflix
It's
show.
a Netflix thing.
Is there anything on primetime that is funny?
Modern Family is
know.
funny still. Simpsons is always going to be funny.
Yeah, but people
Seems
are like bagging on The Simpsons like it is done. Like it is
Thank
dying.
God. It's only been around since 89. I'm so sick of it. Maybe
20, 30
even
years.
before that,
I
87
would say
maybe?
actually there's a
It's
show
time to
that's-
let those kids grow up. I mean, keeping them young all this time is just...
That is true. They're like mutations 'cause they're so
for
small.
my comedy, I must admit, and it changes every day. It's great. And we were talking earlier about Fox News and Fox and everything. It's watching Hannity. I find he's very good, and he has a show that's much earlier than you have to wait for Jon Stewart and co, and all those guys. And he has this show, and it's a political comedy show.
But it's supposed to be serious. That's the sad part.
Sorry?
Don't tell him.
Yeah.
He laughs his way
It's
through
not
it.
parody. That's the scary part. Yeah.
No, the serious, but I watched Dr. Rachel for that. But no, Hannity's brilliant. I mean,
He is hilarious. I mean,
It's just
really.
brilliant.
Sorry.
I would say The Detour, actually. The Detour, that's a funny show.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good one.
So, does anybody here besides me and Jeremy watch any of the police procedurals? Jeremy and I have talked about this already.
Yeah, well, I do, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does,
I try not to watch them, but which one do you like?
So, as if you don't watch them, you may not know that there's this shift now. Like the police procedurals are no longer focused on the police. There's always a consultant that can break whatever
every
laws they want.
Go on, Kath, admit what you watch. Go on.
What?
Tell everybody what you like to watch.
Sorry.
Jeremy dance
CSI.
Balls.
In the spirit of
Oh,
Evo,
oh.
is that called Cagney and Racy?
Well, let's see.
there's
We
Dr.
watched several
Bull.
of them. There's
Bull.
Dr. Bull.
My wife likes
I like
Bull.
That. He gets to break rules.
I annoyed that. Yeah. That
Then
show
there's
annoys me.
Lucifer. The
I
actual
like
devil
Lucifer.
gets to
I
break
like
all the
Lucifer
rules.
a lot, and I really,
Yeah.
really want Jason to watch it because there's nobody on this planet that reminds me more of the character that Lucifer is playing
Yeah.
than my good friend, Mr. Jason Springer. I've told you this.
Well, hang on a minute. I mean, he's got to get a car.
Thank you.
He needs serious money. He needs a shave, and he has to get some decent clothes.
so just to sort of reiterate this.
Thank
No,
you.
no, I mean,
Yeah.
no, don't be like, no, don't start, no.
Just to sort of like
In the
paint
morning,
the
I'm
picture.
gonna hear about this.
Lucifer
Sure.
in the show is a
Right.
tall.
I've seen.
You have seen it. Okay.
I have seen it. I'm
Okay,
aware.
Perfect. All right.
And he's Welsh, by the way, Cymru Byth. Just in case you wanted to know, the actor is Welsh.
Okay.
And so he says, what is it you really want?
As you wish.
What is it you really want?
So yeah, I think police procedurals are going to die soon because they've essentially run out of ideas and
They've
But there'll
done
be a
the
great
whole-
consultant investigating that death.
exactly, and that's
So
it.
it-
Like,
that
What's
will
the one you
restart.
watch that she's in LA or something like that with... Used to
You
have
bring
the
up a good
girl
point,
in
actually. I mean, I think that kind of harkens back to what Lou's talking about. That's why they're dying. There's just so many out there now.
Yeah.
I can remember when I was young. Hill Street Blues was like the show, and there weren't a whole lot of them out there. But now there's all these CSIs, and there's
Before
Law and
that,
Order.
there
And
was
there's all.
Starsky and Hutch.
That's true, but
Major
now
crimes,
it's
that's
now
what
it's
we were
there's a certain network will have a police drama on every single night.
Mm-hmm.
Every single night there's a Law and Order. Every single night there's
Okay,
there's CSI.
let's go back. So I'm just interested.
Yeah.
So Starsky and Hutch. Do I get any yeses? Do I get any yeses? Starsky and Hutch.
Oh,
With
yeah.
Huggy
Yeah,
Bear?
okay.
Come on, you
But
can
then there was also a time
with a lovable
'cause
puppy.
here's what
Okay.
happened,
So
man.
who said "Who loves you, baby"?
That would be Kojak.
Okay.
Savalas.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go back one
the lollipop.
more. We can go back one more.
Who loves you, baby?
Who loves you, baby? One more. See if you can get this one. Oh, just one more thing.
I'm gonna let the kids. I'm gonna let.
Trench coat man.
Yeah, it's Columbo.
Yeah.
Columbo. Yeah. My old daddy used to say to me,
Oh, that's yeah. It's handsome.
Handsome.
Yes.
Oh, Daddy
yes.
used to say that. This one I don't know.
Yeah, that's that's
Rockford.
familiar. That's
Rockford
Rockford
Files.
Files,
Boom.
Yeah.
But you know,
I would have.
James
all right,
Garner,
and the
James
classic
Garner,
of
Case
all
School.
time, Booking Dano.
That's what I was just thinking you were going to go with the first time. That's 5-0.
yes.
of course, that's Dragnet. We got that.
No, that's 5-0.
But you know, it's funny though because I can remember a time when there really weren't a whole lot of police dramas. There were a lot of private investigator shows. That's kind
They
of,
moved away from
and they
the
moved away
PI.
from that, and now
Yeah.
that's kind of the consultant, if you will. But
Right.
like Magnum PI, Simon and Simon,
Or
Monk. Remember Monk?
Yes.
Oh, yes, I
Moonlighting?
miss Monk.
Moonlighting. Yeah, that was a great show.
I loved
I mean,
Moonlighting.
yeah. I miss just
Oh, that
good
was a
PI
comedic
shows.
take.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, Bruce Willis
Bruce
and,
Willis and
Sybil Shepherd.
Sybil
Yeah.
Shepherd. That was fun. Yeah, but yeah, you're right. And they're like they're struggling to find a new narrative. They're trying really hard, like for autistic police officer or
Holy
consultant.
shit.
There's so
Have you
many
seen
of
this?
those.
The
Then there's
the doctor one?
The Good Doctor. Have you
Oh
seen this?
gosh,
No,
it's
haven't
not.
seen
I
it.
don't like it.
I hate it.
I hate it. It's
absolutely hate
fake.
it.
It's
Yeah.
he's
Is that the one
trying-
about the kid who's got autism?
That's
yeah,
a doctor.
autism
Yeah,
doctor
yeah,
and
that's
So it's like a spin on Doogie Howser, MD.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like,
Bingo.
come
Like,
on.
yeah.
and they're struggling. They're pushing it just like with the movie
Yeah,
theaters.
Hollywood. What do you be original?
Well, there's another one with a Brit in it called "Lie to Me." That
no
was
longer
that was
here,
really good.
but yeah.
And
It,
you go-
only, it
you
didn't
go-
last very long. It was a good one.
Tim Roth was in
Yeah.
it.
I like
Yeah.
the anti-hero procedure was like the guy on Showtime that was a serial killer,
Dexter.
and was finding murderers and killing them.
Yeah.
And you know, The Wire was kind of an anti-hero.
Wire
A
was
lot of people
really
think
good.
it's the greatest one.
You should watch The Punisher on Netflix. Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
If you wanna go to
haven't watched
anti-hero,
Punisher, yeah, that one is definitely one to
Do
check
yourself a favor.
out. Yeah.
Okay, this whole group spends way too much time in front of the television set.
The music,
Okay,
I
just
didn't.
putting that out there.
As your husband chimes
He brings
in.
up Horseshack. Go ahead.
Oh, I saw a film. It's the most amazing film I've ever seen.
Showgirls.
On the aeroplane.
What's the film?
And it's a
Aeroplane.
sequel to what was it called? It's got Elton
Oh, yeah,
John in
Kingsman.
it. Kingsman 2.
Kingsman 2.
Right, and it's got Elton John in it, and Elton John was fantastic. Fuck off! You kept saying all the time. It's brilliant. Elton John being.
For some reason, the way you said that looks like you've been bottling up that up for a while.
It was amazing, and the baddie went in a meat grinder.
Yeah.
and it. Oh,
That's
wow.
true, and
It
then-
was just too cool. Anyway,
Yeah.
sorry.
That's all right. So
I saw your meat grinder scene.
Sure, hold on. This is from
Didn't
Eric.
watch it.
No, yeah, it's not good.
I just wanted to say I've noticed on all the networks now there is a SWAT team or SEAL team procedural, and I think it's because all of that SEAL team that took care of Osama bin Laden, they are all now Hollywood consultants. I think
Yeah.
they got their books, their development deals, and every single network has the unit, the team,
For the love
and
of
they're
God.
all, and it's all SWAT team stuff.
We
now.
have to freaking
It's
capitalize
the same
everything.
with movies.
Every
We're talking
single
about how
thing.
there is no original idea. Yeah, that's with
fucking-
movies too.
That's called Hollywood.
They just keep redoing everything. What was it the other night we watched? Fucking Flatliners.
Yeah.
The new
And
Flatliners, yeah.
Kiefer Sutherland is in it.
What?
No,
Yes.
he wasn't.
Yes.
I
Yes,
watched
he
it.
is.
Yeah,
Yes,
he
he
is.
is.
Oh yeah,
He's
yeah,
the-
he is.
the
He's the
older
professor.
doctor,
Yeah, he's the doctor. Yeah, it
still
wasn't too bad
original
actually.
movies.
It was okay.
The Life of Pi isn't all that long ago.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, movies can
somebody's
go
gonna
off
make-
the rails, you know, but TV shows,
Occasionally
nothing
you
original.
get really
not
good.
really.
The last time I was on air, the time before, was Eric will have to remind. Was it Mr. Holmes?
Oh yeah, I would like to see that. Did you see
Which,
it?
Yeah,
which
good movie.
was Holmes aged 90?
Yeah.
Was it about John Holmes?
No, it was Sherlock Holmes suffering from Alzheimer's, and it's like it's his biggest faculties, his mind, and he's losing it. So it was really excruciating, but a beautiful movie though.
Yes,
Bees in
but
it.
that was right. And occasionally you get those movies, don't you, Ivo? You know,
Yeah.
the really, just a lovely movie. It's
Brilliant. It was a brilliant movie.
What's the one about Charles Dickens? The one I was telling you about with it was like a Christmas Story revamp or something.
I've heard a lot about it and I haven't seen it. It's Charles Dickens creates Christmas, basically.
I really
It's
like
interesting,
that.
though. Kath just said something that's very interesting, that movies can sort of go, they have kind of free reign. But I would argue that television is really where all the creative stuff is being done right now.
Yeah, it's the golden age of television, I think, because of all the outlets.
Not that
The
you're wrong.
Hulu, Amazon Prime, Netflix, and they're producing their own
I
content
think
now.
that's better than the major
Yeah,
networks.
yes,
for sure.
but they're pushing the major networks. That's
without a doubt they
classic
are.
capitalism. They're pushing them to be edgier.
But
and
still,
God,
edgy,
Westworld,
edgy.
the remake of Westworld. Have you guys seen
good
it?
God,
Oh,
on
it's
HBO.
great.
Can you imagine? It's 5 o'clock on Christmas Day, and all is quiet outside in England as they wait for Doctor Who.
Yes. Well, it's a Christmas special
yes.
because they
For
We
Doctor-
did see
for
it
Doctor
in
Who
England.
to change.
I think Kathy brings also up a good point, though, because you mentioned Life of Pi, and one of the reasons I think that's so
regeneration
successful
episode.
Yeah.
is because if you have a movie that's based off a book that's just a best-selling book with a very creative and original idea, that just easily transfers into a movie. And
Not
just,
always well done, but if
Not
the
always
movie's
well
well
done.
done,
But it
then
is
it's-
tougher to translate something into a every week episode.
right, but something like that, you at
That's
least
true.
have an original idea, and you're not just rehashing again.
But the thing is, that's why I'm saying, how do you... Doctor Who has been going since the 60s. And I saw the very first one, and my brother and I went and hid behind the couch.
Yeah.
I hid the first time I watched Doctor Who as well. Yeah, go ahead,
And
sir.
now we watch...
Different reasons.
Christmas Day, we watch Doctor Who regenerate, finally, right at the very end of the show, into a woman.
Yeah.
And the writing on it, the same guy actually wrote it who wrote the Holmes, the latest Sherlock Holmes, the modern Sherlock Holmes versions. And he was in it. And it and there's a Dalek in it, if you know Doctor Who.
There was a Dalek in Sherlock Holmes? What?
Yes, well, you don't, because you obviously don't watch Sherlock Holmes. There's a Dalek in it, and I'm thinking, wow. And I thought to myself, this is really clever.
Mm-hmm.
How do you start something that's been going for years and years and years and years?
Right. Well,
I don't know. I was thinking about The Simpsons again. I'm like, enough.
But the Doctor Who reboot has been extremely successful.
Yeah.
It has been extremely successful. Outside of the latest Doctor Who was a disappointment,
Peter Capaldi.
Peter Capaldi, I think it was a very successful reboot, and I think it's going to be huge with the new woman. She looks to be in her 20s, too old for Roy Moore, but really, I think it's going to be a big success.
I think you're probably right. Although I have a question, and I'm not sniping at you, Jeremy. I'm just kind of curious. Do you think that Doctor Who, especially in the UK, is a spectacle for the sake of the longevity of it? Like, would it matter if it was not as good? I happen to think Doctor Who is some of the best writing on TV.
Oh yeah,
But
the storytelling, man.
I'm not sure
You
what
have to
question
think
you're
about what's
asking
going
me.
on.
would it be as big an event regardless of the storytelling behind Doctor Who? Just simply because it's 50 years old. If it was a shite story, would it still have been a big event?
I think the thing about Doctor Who is that it is a shite story.
It's not. How dare you, sir? How
there's-
dare you?
It's just escapism.
Stephen Moffat.
That's why people love
Yeah,
it.
I mean,
It's just escapism.
We could take this podcast away and just talk about Doctor Who. It's the angels,
Right.
you know.
Blink.
And then you go off.
I'll just go
was a
sit
good
alone
one.
in the corner because I don't know anything about Doctor Who.
Right, and then
No,
you
it's
you can go off into Torchwood and all
Right.
the things
It
that go
is a
with it.
seriously scary freaking series.
It's
I was just thinking about The Simpsons again. So
It's the first scary thing I think that most English kids watch on telly.
Right.
And
Unless they've seen The Queen.
well, there is the Queen. Yeah.
Oh no!
Don't you be mocking herself.
He'll cut you. He'll cut
just because you haven't got a queen.
He already told
Well,
you
you
to fuck
have
off
got a
once.
queen, but she lives in another country.
That's true.
You know, but so I think when you talk about writing, every now and then we see something on TV, and you can't help yourself watch it.
Right.
It doesn't matter what it's about. It's just very good.
Right.
You know, and it could be a war movie, it could be a love story. You know, it's just really very, very good.
But like here,
still miss West
we've
Wing.
got West Wing was good.
Yeah.
Here, like if you think about like what were we talking about last week? The
I don't know. We were in England.
That's right. Yes. No, well, it was actually outside the podcast.
Good Bad Guys.
We were talking about here in the bar. We just happened to talk about like the rock tour reunions. Like like you've got. It started with Menudo, of all weird things, and then we started talking about like how Journey is touring right now without Steve Perry.
Sure.
Is it crap because it's Journey without Steve Perry? But do you go watch it anyway because it's Journey and you have good memories of Journey? And I kind of wonder that for me, at least that's for sure the reason I started watching Doctor Who. But like you guys were saying, the stories are legitimately engaging.
Oh, yeah.
And if you're willing to suspend disbelief.
They're cerebral too, and they're very educational in terms of history, human history, and also they can collect some of the best writers in the on the island. Stephen Moffat, who writes occasionally the stories for Doctor Who, is a genius writer.
Right.
So they weave the story in a very interesting way. It engages you, it scares you, like you said, but without the gore. So it's scary movie without the gory stuff. Scary stuff without the gory stuff. And it's really great storytelling, great iconic characters, always extremely annoying companion, that you can't stand. And,
Except for K9.
Yeah, and and so and really caricature villains, but good stuff. Doctor Who's good. The music, I wanted to mention something. Going back to the music, Tiny Desk concerts on NPR, because we failed to mention the podcasting. So you live I live in music heaven now.
Right.
Even though you mentioned no more radio, radio is not a source for great music anymore.
Right.
So you have a wealth of resources at your fingertips in the internet, and I listen to a lot of podcasts, and I work behind a desk, so I listen to music and I listen to a lot of podcasts that direct you and push you into an interesting new experiences music-wise. And one of those podcasts is Tiny Desk Concerts on NPR.
Oh, they're great.
They already filter. You have to apply, and there's hundreds and hundreds of bands applying to appear on Tiny Desk Concert. It's like 5-minute concert, basically.
Right.
And it's usually acoustic. And the bands that I've discovered through Tiny Desk Concert podcast are just incredible. Sometimes horrible, sometimes absolutely incredible. But that's a great source. And like you mentioned, YouTube, and you can go into a wormhole on YouTube, going from one band to another, Pandora. And
Side question, just based on YouTube thing. Has anybody else noticed that if you stay on YouTube long enough, you eventually end up in a right-wing conspiracy site?
Oh yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
sorry. Keep making your point.
Yeah, and if you go on a right conspiracy binge, you end up on YouTube as well. So it's like it's a feedback loop that's really horrible. But yeah, this is an interesting phenomenon. But also watching movies and shows, as we watch so many shows and movies, I find so many incredible music and amazing bands on shows. And I immediately go and look who sang that song. And you can go on IMDb immediately and find out the soundtrack for a show or a movie, and you find out incredible stuff. There's so much music. Music is not dead. There's a lot of bands. You just have to look for them, and they never get rich.
Yeah.
It used to be, we've talked about it, used to be that a band makes an album, a studio album, goes platinum, makes $1 million, and then they go into drugs and alcohol for 12 months, don't do shit, and the concerts support the album. Now, the album supports the concerts.
But there
concerts 365 days a year. You have.
There
to
are
work.
other things that you can do, and I've discovered with YouTube because I like drumming. I like watching drummers, and so
You like their little tight
about
pants.
a year, 18 months ago, I was Googling around,
Of course you were.
as I was, and I was looking at amateur
Googler.
drummers. Just
When I
what
look
they
at
go-
amateurs,
what do you
it's a
call it?
completely
Pop up
different thing. Yeah.
pop where people flash mobs, right?
Oh,
and flash mob drummers,
Right.
Okay. And I came across a kid called Xena, I don't know. She's
The
probably
Warrior Princess?
No. She's probably.
Didn't know she was
My
a drummer.
guess is she's probably 14.
Okay.
Right. Okay.
You
And
warned
she is an
everyone.
amazing
Drummer.
Just a quite incredible drummer. Xena drums. She is. Well, what she's done is her dad is a guitarist, and he was with a number of English bands back in the day in the 60s. And they know lots of different people. So she's now putting together music with people she's not met in different countries of about her age. So, like, they have one lad who's an amazing guitarist, just incredible. Another girl who's an amazing guitarist, right? And they're putting together music that they've written, and they don't know each other. And they're doing it online.
Yeah.
And then someone's putting it together, so you can watch them playing, say, cover stories. Cover.
Covers.
I'm tired. Covers of jet lag. It is covers of really amazing. Doing, say, Floyd, for instance, Pink Floyd. Get Jason going, and they are playing the music that Floyd play. So, and when I say playing the music, I mean off the music sheet. Right, perfectly. And it's stunning watching these 14, 15-year-olds with the right equipment and everything else. But what's so cool is they've not met each other.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
And you can mix it together so it sounds.
Evo's not impressed.
Yeah, Evo's not impressed. I don't know. Why not?
Magic happens when musicians are together, when they go into the same room, and there's chemistry and there's energy, and it's real, it's organic. There's no drum machines, there's no computers. That's
I'm going to kind
real-
of second that. I tend to agree with Evo, actually, on
Well,
that.
I think these guys are full of bullshit. playing.
I've sat next to Ivo and Vasco and people like that. I've also sat next to world-class guitarists and drummers, and I'm just saying, watching these kids do what they do, and they're doing it live. It's
I'm
not,
sure they're amazing.
But watching it, and I'm thinking, is this the way it's going to go next? Where you're going to have, the next Genesis or something, right? Will be people who live
met.
in different countries.
I mean, my daughter does that. She sends, vocals to a friend of hers who mixes music and plays guitar and keyboards and stuff, and they put together songs. And those are good songs, but something about being together, feeling the emotion from each other, feeding off of each other, and
Something about
creating
being in that
something
moment together.
authentic.
In that one singular moment
The
together.
moment, yeah.
Well, you won't remember this, but I challenge you to go to Sina Drums. I think it's SINA SINA, and watch it, because I'm so old I find it difficult to operate my iPhone. Right? For me, real music is watching Deep Purple on a stage, or Uriah Heep, or something like that.
Nobody really operates their iPhone. iPhone operates you now.
Well, true. But what I'm getting at is I wonder whether I've seen what's coming next. And that Ivo, bless him, who's a few years younger than me, is saying, no, this isn't right. It's not how it should be.
Right.
And
I
actually,
am
we've
the-
just seen
the old
old
guy.
fart Ivo.
Yeah.
As opposed to it's old fart Jeremy.
Right.
I'm just seriously, I'm being perfectly serious. I wonder whether or not Ivo's going, it's not right. This
If
is
I
how
was
it-
17, I would say the same thing. It's just some,
You can't get
and,
laid if they're not in the same room with you.
and there are people I know that
That
are
is a
17
big
that would
part
say the
of
same
music,
thing.
the
Yeah.
music scene. You're right.
It's a point of view, I guess. But
No, I think you are right, Jeremy. As always, it pains me to say that, but I
know.
think that you are correct here.
It's actually cringing.
Yes. Okay, we are running out of time. I want to. My phone's going off. How about that?
Oh, that's cool.
I will never
I
get
mean,
over
we don't
saying
have
somebody
music.
saying,
When
"My
I
phone's
do
going
it,
off."
we don't have music and people going off.
And then they
That's
touch
very
their
rude.
watch.
And they, yeah.
All right. I got one quick
Payback's
question.
bitch.
I'm looking for a small piece of advice that you guys would give to a foreign friend that's coming to America. Not something that's going to be not like a treatise on living in America. I'm looking for like
I have a very short
a
piece
very
of advice.
short. Yeah.
Don't.
That's perfect.
All right. Kath's vote is go. From
Anywhere.
Yeah, from anywhere. From
It's
your
very
home
easy,
country,
very,
from,
very easy.
Your favorite country to visit.
Do not, under any circumstances, argue with law enforcement and keep your hands on the wheel at all times.
I think that's perfect. Jane, how about you?
Wear a lot of name brand things so you fit in.
Oh, I think that's fantastic. Springer.
Well, I guess if you want to fit in, just use the word like all the time when you speak.
Like you mean
Such
like
as-
like
Just
that?
like that?
Like
But honestly, probably the thing I would tell them is just don't take it personal, because Americans will be rude and boorish and say things that they will take offense to, and just don't take it personal.
Right. Evo, you deal with this quite a bit, don't you?
Body armor.
No, so don't eat the food.
My piece of advice would be Americans smile a lot. It doesn't mean anything. In fact, sometimes it means the exact opposite of
That's
what
good.
you think it means.
and they constantly talk to you even though they don't even morning.
Yes.
Morning, how are you?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, they say things like, have a nice day. And then they blow your fucking head off.
Yeah,
I mean, jeez.
that's what we do. Yeah.
Awesome. This has been actually great fun for me. I actually as far as the podcast goes, I enjoy getting to hear everybody talk. I enjoy especially the fact that Jeremy got to kind of hang out and not have to herd the kittens, as you said earlier today. So,
Pussies.
Oh, well, herding pussies, that's a completely different thing, and that would be a different podcast for a different group of people. Anyway, I want to say thank you to the podcast panel for coming out and chatting with us today. Thank you very much to our producers, Eric, and our producer, Eric, and our engineer, Neil. Thank you, as always, Mr. Fernando, for keeping us on the straight and narrow. And anybody that wants to find out about
Well, I'd like to know who our sponsors
I
are.
was getting there.
Come on,
I say.
you know.
You just can't let go of the reins, can you?
No, I was getting very worried there. I was
Get it
very
like
worried.
scratch.
I was very worried.
Mr. Ivanov,
No, I'm in
do
trouble
we have
now,
any
aren't I?
sponsors this week?
We do, and I had prepared actually several sponsors, but in lieu of our conversation today, our sponsor is the new company Disney 21st Century Fox.
Righteous.
And their brand new production, Snow White Supremacists and the Seven Dwarfs, 101 Aryan Nations, and Lady and the Trump.
Awesome. Thank you very much, folks. You have been listening to Wednesday Night Undressed.